37 trips. That is the number I wrote in my report. 37 times the human medic flew her shuttle back into a contested landing zone after she could have stopped. The last one took a direct hit from a cruel plasma round. She was bleeding on the deck. Her left arm hanging at an angle. Arms are not supposed to bend, and she still refused to lift off until I made the count myself. Every name, every stretcher, every body we could find. She had never met a single one of us before that dawn. My breathing slits contract when I think about it. They're contracting now. The 7th Battalion died 3 times before the sun came up. Our forward base was a mining outpost on a volcanic world the Cruel wanted for its heavy element deposits. The Vrikan Defense Council knew we could not hold it. They sent us anyway. That is what we do. We hold the ground that cannot be held so other battalions can fall back and regroup. It is called the Last Stand Protocol, and in my species, it is considered the highest honor a commander can achieve. I had 210 soldiers at midnight. By 0300, I had 147. By 0400, we were surrounded. Ammunition at 11%. Medical supplies at 0. The Cruel did not rush the bunker. They did not need to. They had the ridge, the airspace, and all the time in the universe. They sat there and waited for us to bleed out. I sat on an overturned crate and wrote my final report. Not a tactical assessment, a personal one. A letter to families. I wrote 147 names that night. I got a number 89 before the ground shook. A shuttle, coming in hot. I did not recognize the engine profile. Not Vrikan, not Cruel. Something else, smaller, lighter, with a hull that caught the volcanic glow like it was made of the same fire. The shuttle hit the ground hard, skidded sideways, and the ramp dropped before the landing gear finished locking. The figure that stepped out was smaller than any soldier I had ever seen. Slight build, unarmed. Her uniform had a red cross on the shoulder and a name patch I could not read from that distance. She carried a medical kit in one hand and a data slate in the other. She looked at the burning bunker, the craters, the bodies. She looked at me. You the commander? Her voice was calm. Not brave calm. Not pretending calm. Genuinely, obscenely calm. Like she had walked into a tea room, not a war zone. I am Vexthal Kor, commander of the 7th Battalion, Vrikan Defense Forces. Ren Holloway, Human Expeditionary Medical Corps. She held up the slate. I'm told you have wounded. Here. We have 147 wounded, and dead, and surrounded. Right. The wounded first, then. Dead after. She walked past me into the bunker. Show me where you keep them. I followed her inside. I do not know why. Protocol said I should have stayed at the command post. But something about the way she moved, unhurried, deliberate, as if she had already decided exactly how this was going to go, made me want to watch. She knelt beside the first soldier, a young Vrikan named Veth. His lower torso was a mess of shrapnel wounds and burned dermal plate. He was conscious. He was trying very hard not to scream. Ren did not flinch. She scanned him with a handheld device, tapped the slate, and pulled a seal patch from her kit. This is going to feel wrong, she said, but it's going to help. Trust me. She pressed the patch to the worst wound. Veth's breathing slits ceased. He made a sound I had never heard of Vrikan make. Ren patted his shoulder. You're fine. You're fine. That's the nanite interface. It hurts for 3 seconds. Then it numbs everything below the neck. Count with me. 1, 2, 3. Veth's body relaxed. There. See? You're tougher than you think. She stood up, marked something on her slate, and moved to the next soldier. Who's next? I watched her work for 20 minutes. She did not stop. She did not slow down. She treated 23 soldiers in that time, and every single one, she touched on the shoulder when she was done. A small gesture, a pointless gesture. It cost her nothing. And yet, what did you train? I asked. Earth. Field Medicourse. For years. 4 years. That's the short one. She sealed another wound. The long one is 8, but I got deployed before I finished. You are not a full medic? I'm a full medic. Just not a full surgeon. I can keep you alive until we get you to a real hospital. She stood. Speaking of which, we need to get these people out of here. My shuttle can carry 20. Who goes first? The most critical. That's what protocol says. She looked at the bunker entrance. The sky outside was orange with volcanic ash and cruel artillery flares. And after the critical, who goes next? The walking wounded. And after them, I hesitated. The dead. No, the dead stay. She said it flat. No drama. We don't leave the living to carry corpses. We leave the corpses and we come back for them when the ground is safe. That is not protocol. I know. She picked up her kit. Load the critical. I'll be back in 12 minutes. She came back in 11. I counted. She landed, unloaded, took on 11 more wounded, and lifted off again. The cruel spotted her on the second ascent. They fired. She banked hard, and the plasma bolt missed by what looked like meters from the ground. I documented it. That was my job, to document everything. Every casualty, every engagement, every decision. I wrote, human medical shuttle. Second extraction. Fired upon. Evaded. Then I added, pilot appears unconcerned. She came back. Third trip. Fourth. Fifth. By the sixth, I was not writing about the shuttle anymore. I was writing about her. Trip 6. Medic Holloway exited the shuttle before the ramp touched ground. Carried a Vrikan soldier weighing approximately 120 kilograms across 40 meters of open terrain while under small arms fire. Placed him aboard. Returned to the bunker at a jog. On the 7th trip, the shuttle's engine coughed on descent. Something was wrong. I flagged the pilot. A human named Kel, older, with gray at his temples and a scar across his jaw. Your engine, I said. Rotor 3's losing compression, Kel said. I know. Can you fly it? Yeah. He did not sound sure. One more trip, maybe 2. After that, she's done. I found Ren inside. She was crouched beside a soldier who was too far gone. I could see in the way his breathing slits barely moved. She was holding his hand. Ren. She did not look up. Kel says the shuttle has 2 trips left. Maybe. I heard. We have 42 wounded still inside. And the dead. I know. She stood. She looked at the soldier on the ground. His name was Korvith. He had been with the battalion for 6 years. And she let go of his hand. Then we need more trips. There are no more trips. The shuttle cannot. Then we make it work. She walked past me. We stack them tighter. We leave the gear. We strip everything that isn't a person and we stuff them in like cargo. That is not. I know it's not protocol. She stopped at the door. Protocol also says I'm supposed to triage. Leave the ones who won't make it. Focus on the ones who will. She looked back at me. I'm not doing that. I learned something about humans that night. They have a phrase. 3 words. They say it in every language I have ever heard them speak. And they say it like it is the simplest truth in the universe. We don't leave anyone behind. I heard it for the first time on Trip 9, when the shuttle's engine was smoking and Kel was screaming at Ren to stop loading. Ren, we are overweight. The hull is compromised. If we take a hit, we go down. We don't leave anyone behind, Kel. We don't leave anyone behind, Kel repeated. Not agreement. Recitation. Like it was a line he had said 1,000 times before. The shuttle took off. It wobbled. It should not have stayed in the air. But it did. I counted Trip 9 as a success and wrote, human medical personnel have a phrase. Its meaning is, extraction is not optional. Between trips, I pulled up the coalition database. I needed to understand what species produces people like this. I learned that humans have been doing this for as long as they have had records. In 1940, on a beach in a country called France, their soldiers evacuated 338,000 of their own while under continuous air and artillery attack, using fishing boats and pleasure craft because they ran out of military vessels. They called it the Miracle of Dunkirk. The word miracle was in their official records. I learned that they award medals specifically for recovering wounded under fire. Their highest military honor has been given to medics who carried casualties while injured themselves. In 1945, 1967, 2009, and repeatedly in between. They have a standing order, leave no one behind. It is not a suggestion. It is doctrine. They have entire units whose only purpose is to extract personnel from enemy territory. I found a document from their early space programs. When a capsule malfunctioned during re-entry, they sent a man in a pressure suit to manually repair it in orbit. The repair took longer than planned. They did not let him drift into space. They stayed in the docking window for 3 extra orbits and talked him through it. They could have let him go. They did not. That is the pattern. Not one act of bravery. A civilization-wide reflex that they have spent centuries refining. Trip 14 was when it stopped being a supply run and started being a siege. The Cruel figured out what was happening. They saw the same thing I saw, a single shuttle over and over, pulling soldiers out of a bunker that should have been a tomb. They did not like it. Their comms traffic lit up. I had a translator unit patched into their channel. The first transmission I caught was chilling in its simplicity. The human shuttle is still operational. Targeted. They did. They hit the bunker's east wall on Trip 16. The structural sensor screamed. Dust filled every room. I coughed volcanic grit for hours afterward. Ren did not notice. She was carrying a soldier whose legs had stopped answering him entirely, strapped to her back like dead weight, and she was crawling over rubble to keep him level. Ren, the wall collapsed. The LZ is unstable. I noticed. You cannot take off from here. I noticed that too. She reached the shuttle. Kel had moved it to the only clear patch of ground left. A strip maybe 30 meters long, surrounded by debris. We're going to need a running start. That is not a runway. That is a gap between 2 piles of wreckage. It's a runway if you're brave enough. She loaded the soldier and turned back toward the bunker. Keep counting. At Trip 16, my comm panel lit with a priority channel I did not control. Coalition Medical Command, patched through the battalion relay from 3 star systems away. Battalion 7, this is triage oversight. We have your casualty logs. Standard protocol caps, single shuttle extraction risk at 15 sorties per crew per engagement. Order the human asset to withdraw and hold remaining wounded for the next scheduled relief convoy. I read it to Ren. She kept loading a stretcher. When's the convoy? 6 days. They don't have 6 days. She did not look up. Tell triage oversight I acknowledge the order and I am declining it. You cannot decline a coalition directive. Watch me. She sealed a wound. Tell them a human civilian medic outside their chain of command respectfully told them no. Put it in the report exactly like that. I put it in the report exactly like that. Trip 19. Trip 20. Trip 22. I stopped writing individual entries. I started a new page in my report and wrote human medical extraction, cumulative log, and beneath it in columns. Sortie time load notes. 105-1-11 standard extraction. 7060-410 engine degradation reported. 1406-49-13 bunker wall collapse. 1907-228 enemy fire intense. For casualties during loading. 2207-414 crew. Rotor 3 unresponsive. At Trip 22, Kel grounded the shuttle. He did not ask. He landed, dropped the ramp, and cut the engine. That's it, he said. I'm not lifting off again until we replace Rotor 3. We don't have a Rotor 3, Ren said. Then we don't have a shuttle. Kel, Ren, look at me. He turned in his seat. His face was gray with exhaustion. I have flown 22 combat extractions in 6 hours. I have been shot at, hit twice, and I'm pretty sure my landing gear is welded shut at a 30-degree angle. I'm not quitting. I am running out of machine. Ren stood in the cargo bay. Her uniform was covered in blood, Vrikan blood, her own blood. I could not tell the difference anymore. She had a cut across her forehead that she had not treated. How many left? 20, I said. And the dead. The dead can wait. She looked at Kel. How long to fix it? 4 hours. Minimum. We don't have 4 hours. Then we have a problem. She stood there. For the first time that night, I saw something in her face that was not calm. It was calculation. A door closing. A decision being made. All right, she said. New plan. She went back on foot. No schated. No cover. She strapped a medical kit to her back, grabbed a portable stretcher, and walked out of the bunker into the volcanic dawn. I grabbed her arm. You'll be killed. They won't shoot a medic. They will shoot anyone coming out of that bunker. Then I'll go slow. She pulled her arm free. I look less threatening if I'm not running. You're a medic from a non-combatant species. This is not your war. These are not your soldiers. Why are you doing this? She looked at me. Really looked. like she was seeing me for the first time. Because you trusted me to get them out. And I told you I would. Behind her, the sky lit up with another cruel artillery barrage. She did not flinch. Get back inside, Commander. I'll be right back. She was not right back. She was gone for 47 minutes. I stood at the bunker door and watched through a cracked tactical scope. I saw her reach the first downed soldier. One of ours hit during a repositioning attempt 3 hours earlier. She checked his pulse. She waited. She checked again. Then she slung him onto the stretcher and started dragging him back. It took her 18 minutes to cover 300 meters. She crawled the last 50. The stretcher was low to the ground, too low for her to walk upright, and she pulled it with one arm while the other kept her steady. A cruel sniper round hit the dirt 2 meters from her head. She did not stop. A second round hit the stretcher frame. The soldier on it did not move. She did not stop. A third round. The stretcher handle snapped. The stretcher tipped. She caught it with her shoulder before it hit the ground, adjusted her grip on the broken end, and kept dragging. She reached the bunker entrance covered in gray ash and her own sweat. Her hands were shaking. Her voice was not. 1 down. 19 to go. Istir de here. You walked into an active combat zone and dragged a wounded soldier back by hand. Yep, for 47 minutes. It would have been faster if I could have stood up. You were shot at. I was shot near. There's a difference. She knelt beside the soldier, checked his vitals. He's alive. Get him inside. I did not move. How many of your people have this? This refusal to stop. She looked up at me. All of us. All. Some more than others. She stood. But yeah, all of us. It's not a special trait, Commander. It's just a rule. You don't leave people behind. You don't quit when it's hard. You keep going until the job is done. Why? She thought about it. Because if you don't, the ones who trusted you die alone. And we decided a long time ago that we'd rather die than let that happen. I documented that conversation, word for word. I do not know why. I think I wanted proof that she was real. She made 19 more trips on foot. 19. I counted them too. On trip 26, she found a cruel scout half buried under collapsed rock, his own unit long gone, his breathing labored around a punctured chest plate. Vrikan protocol said leave him. Cruel doctrine would have left him too. Ren knelt beside him anyway, sealed the wound, and dragged him to the bunker with the same care she gave our own. He is the enemy, I said. He's a patient. She checked his vitals. The war ends eventually. The patient doesn't care whose side wrote the treaty. I did not know what to write in my report. I wrote it anyway. Extraction 27. Species, cruel. Combatant status. Enemy. Treatment. Identical to Allied personnel. Between trips 24 and 28, the cruel artillery found the ridge and the bunker's remaining outer wall collapsed. We lost 6 more soldiers. Ren carried 2 of them out herself while bleeding from a gash on her leg. At trip 29, Kel fixed the rotor. Not properly. He used a field repair kit and what looked like prayer, but the shuttle could fly again. He lifted off and met Ren halfway, landing on a slope so steep I was sure he would roll. Get in, he said. I have 3 more. Get in, Ren. We'll come back. We don't leave anyone, I know. We'll come back. Together. In the shuttle, which flies faster than your legs. She got in. He did not tell her his hands had been shaking since trip 20. He did not tell her about the photo of his daughter taped inside the cockpit, or that he thought of her every time the engine screamed. He just flew. Trip 30. Trip 31. Trip 32. The shuttle was hit on trip 31. A glancing plasma bolt across the tail section. The rear stabilizer caught fire. Kel put it out by doing something I am still not sure I saw correctly. A roll maneuver that no shuttle that size should have been able to execute. Still flying, he said over the comms. How bad? Ren asked. I can get us back to orbit. Landing might be exciting. I'll take exciting. They extracted another 11 soldiers in the next hour. The Krull were throwing everything at them now. The comms intercepts were frantic. The shuttle is still moving. The human is still moving. Why are they still moving? I had the same question. Trip 37. The last 5 soldiers were pinned behind a ridge 300 meters east of the bunker. The Krull had them in a kill box, Crossfire from 2 positions, no cover, no escape. Standard military logic said they were dead. Ren did not agree. I'm going. Kel, that's a kill box. I know. Ren, I know, Kel. She took the shuttle, alone. No gane. No escorts. Just a wounded bird that had been shot at 36 times and was held together by field welds and stubbornness. She flew low, below the ridgeline, below the kill box's effective field of fire. At that altitude, the volcanic ash was so thick I lost sight of her completely. For 30 seconds, there was nothing but engine noise and static. Then the shuttle reappeared, climbing hard, with 5 figures on the ramp. She had landed blind in volcanic ash, picked up 5 soldiers under crossfire, and taken off through a cloud of superheated particles that should have melted her engine intakes. The Krull hit her on the way out. A plasma round struck the shuttle's port side, just behind the cockpit. The hull crumpled. The shuttle spun. Ren did not. She fought the controls and held it level long enough to clear the ridge before setting down in the bunker's cratered landing zone. The ramp dropped. Smoke poured out. I ran inside. Ren was on the deck. Her left arm was bent the wrong way. There was blood in her hair. She was trying to stand. Get them off, she said. What? The soldiers. Get them off the shuttle. There's a fire in the engine bay. Ren, your arm, I know. She got to her knees. Get them off. Count them. Make sure everyone is off. I turned to the cargo bay. The 5 soldiers were alive. Shaken, burned, but alive. Kel was already helping them down. I looked back at Ren. She was on her feet now, holding her ruined arm against her chest, staring at the ramp. Count them, she said. I count them, Commander. I counted. 5. All 5. And the others? The others are already in orbit. Every soldier who is alive at dawn is aboard the medical transport. She looked at me. Her face was pale. Her eyes were steady. Check again. I checked again. 5. Alive. All of them. She nodded. Then she sat down, slowly, carefully, like she had been holding herself together by will and had finally reached the end of it. Okay, she said. Okay. I knelt beside her. A human medic, smaller than any Vrikan in my battalion, with a broken arm and blood in her hair, who had just spent 19 hours extracting my soldiers from a war zone. What? I asked. She looked at me. We don't leave anyone behind. That's not an answer. It's the only answer I have. That was 8 years ago. My after-action report was submitted to the Coalition Medical Board. They reviewed it, along with Ren's flight logs, Kel's maintenance records, and 37 separate landing zone recordings. The board amended the Coalition's Medical Extraction Treaty. Article 12, Section 4 now reads, no evacuation of a living ally shall be refused. Human extraction standards shall serve as the baseline for all Coalition medical personnel. The Krull Empire fell 3 years later. Not because of us, because of economics. The war ended the way all wars end eventually. Someone ran out of money. But there's a second name on my chest now, etched into my dermal plate, just below my collarbone. Ren Holloway. I visited Earth to find her. It took me 6 months. She was not hard to locate. She was the only human medic in a small town in the mountains, running a clinic that treated everyone regardless of species or ability to pay. The clinic had a sign above the door. It said, we don't leave anyone behind. She was older, gray at her temples, a limp in her left leg that she claimed was old combat physics. The tattoo on her inner wrist was still there, 11 names in human script. The 11 who died on that volcanic mining world. I showed her my chest. The same 11 names inked over my heart. You kept them, she said. They didn't leave anyone behind either. Someone should remember. She looked at me for a long time. Then she smiled. It was the same smile she had worn walking into a burning bunker 8 years earlier. Calm, steady, obscenely normal. You want some coffee? She said. I'll make it strong. It's the only way I know how. I sat down. My breathing slits relaxed. I had not realized they had been contracted the entire time. I would like that, I said. She poured 2 cups. The clinic was quiet. The mountains were green. There were no artillery flares in the sky. Are you still practicing? I asked. I never stopped. She wrapped her hands around her mug. Someone has to keep bringing people home. I stayed for 3 days. I helped her stock supplies, repair a cracked filtration unit, and treat a local farmer whose livestock had gotten into something poisonous. She worked the same way she worked on that battlefield, calm, unhurried, touching every patient on the shoulder when she was done. She asked if I had ever told anyone the full story. I said I had written it. She asked if she could read it. I gave her a copy of my after-action report, all 47 pages. She read it in one sitting. When she finished, she looked up and said, "You made me sound brave." "You were." "No." She set the report down. "I was just doing the job." Brave is the medic who goes back in when she knows she might not come out. The one who knows the shuttle might not make it. I told myself I would come back every time. I told myself it would be fine. And it was fine. 36 times. The 37th. She touched her left arm, the one that had healed crooked. The 37th was different. Because you knew you might not come back. Because I knew I might not come back. And I went anyway. She looked at me. "That's the trick, Commander. It's not being unafraid. It's being afraid and going anyway. That's what we don't leave anyone behind means." I thought about that. I thought about the 37 trips, the burning shuttle, the moment I dragged her aboard by her injured arm. I thought about her counting the soldiers even as the deck was smoking beneath her. "I think I understand now," I said. "Do you?" "Yes." I touched my chest, the name etched there. "You did not do it because you were brave. You did it because the alternative, leaving someone, was worse than any fear you could feel." She nodded. "That's it. That's the whole thing." She stood and refilled my cup. "Finish your coffee," she said. "I have a patient in 20 minutes. You can stay if you want. Watch how the real work gets done." I stayed. If you have ever wondered what makes humans dangerous, it is not their strength. It is not their weapons. It is not their technology. It is this: they have a rule. A simple rule. A rule they will die for, kill for, and sacrifice everything for. We don't leave anyone behind. Not their own. Not their allies. Not strangers they met 20 minutes ago who were bleeding in a bunker on a world none of them had heard of before that morning. They will fly a broken shuttle into a kill box. They will crawl through sniper fire. They will drag your body across 300 meters of volcanic ash because they promised you they would. And when you ask them why they risked everything for people they barely knew, they will look at you like the question does not make sense. Because you trusted me, they will say, "We don't leave anyone behind." And that is all the answer you will ever get. My name is Vextelkor. I was the commander of the 7th Vrikan Battalion. I survived because a human named Ren Holloway counted to 37 and refused to stop. I have her name on my chest. I have 11 more beside it. I will never stop counting either. If this story moved you, subscribe to Kaelvorn HFY. We tell stories about the one species in the galaxy that refuses to stop coming back for you. We don't leave anyone behind. See you in the next one.